I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the Monday KVJ After the Show podcast. 4 days off. You're like, oh man, you guys got to be so rested and relaxed and ready to go. Oh my gosh, we are barely holding on.
Day what? Day 2 of your vacation. You were feeling like dog butt.
Yeah, I got out of here. We did a staycation, and my wife picked me up on Wednesday, and we went right to the place here in South Florida. And we stayed, hung out by the pool, did all that kind of relaxing stuff. And then the next day, kind of like chilled out. And then went home, had a lovely night. And then I woke up on Friday morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I got just the funk. Could barely even move, had the aches, all that kind of good stuff. And then the congestion, which is the wake-up call. I get bronchitis pretty much every year. I don't know what it is. It's crazy. It's been something that I've had my entire life. And whenever I get a cold, you got to try to stay away from it because it could be 2 weeks if it gets you. If it really takes you out, it's 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I spent 3 days in bed, did nothing, just chilled. I said, I'm going to do this right. And I was massively hopped up on I got a system now because I get it every year of how I really attack it. So a lot of it's Mucinex. So I've got a nasal spray, I've got a pill, and I've got a cough syrup. And they're all pretty powerful. And let me tell you, I was loopy and feeling fine.
So when you leave here today, do you immediately get back on the cough syrup and the Mucinex and all of it?
I brought the Mucinex pill, but I was telling my wife because I was getting out of bed and I was kind of falling over. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it took me a second to get my bearing. I'm like, I'm so dizzy. And I didn't know if it was the illness or what, but no, I think it's this pill. So I have it here as an emergency in case I just fell apart today. I'm like, all right, I got to do it. And then maybe I'd have to Uber home. But that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I get home, I'm going to pop that baby, settle in for the day, nasal spray it up and all that. So I'm kind of vulnerable right now. This is the first I've gone. I'm not medicated.
Rest. That is the best thing you can do.
It is.
Just lay in bed and exert zero energy and let your body just use all the energy to fight whatever the funk is.
That's what you got to do. That's how the whole game works. So, I got to kind of chill out. You know, somebody's saying maybe it's COVID because that's kind of been going around.
You know, the first gentleman has COVID.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kamala's man has COVID.
And I got to tell you, I don't know, and I didn't say because I'm not an alarmist and whatever, but remember when you had the boat party for Suits and I told you, I don't know what happened. That weekend, I slept the entire weekend. I just kept drifting in and out of, I don't know what was happening. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I got to lay down. I had the same headache I had during COVID. I never get headaches.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. And it was just on Saturday. But then by Sunday night, I'm like, all right, I feel fine. And so, I don't know.
But you said your son was coughing and feeling yucky before you.
He was I heard him coughing. Yeah. I heard him coughing on Wednesday and into Thursday. Didn't think much of it. I did think when I hear a cough, I'm like, all right, you got to stay away from that germy kid. Because I know what it does to me.
But it's your kid. Like, it's kind of hard to stay away from your kid when you're going to be together on a staycation.
Oh, but I did. I mean, I try to stay away from my children. And I had a good excuse. But yeah, still still whatever it was. Yeah, and I haven't seen the bird. Michael's like, yeah, Kevin gave it to the bird. I don't think what the bird and I have are the same. I think we might have something different.
Yeah, you haven't seen each other since Wednesday of last week.
Yeah, I doubt that. Yeah, mine's sore throat and all that. I think Bird's might be something else. He described his symptoms, and it's not what I have.
Huh.
So he's at MD now trying to figure out what's going on. He had massive fevers and all that. So,
but he's been dealing with things like vertigo and all kinds of stuff.
I don't know if you can even start to put a finger on what the heck he's got going on.
He needs a good overhaul, head to toe.
What's going on with that boy? Don't try pinning on me.
He's walking with quite a limp these days. I don't think you kicked him.
No.
I didn't see you kick him.
That ain't me. That ain't me. Yeah, so a couple people were saying they're laid up. Yeah, so that was my 4th of July weekend, 3 days in bed. But it's good. I got to watch a lot of stuff that I wanted to see, and, some of it good, some of it bad. People were really tearing me up about the Beverly Hills Cop review I had. Did not give it the high marks. But some people said they really loved it.
I'm going to be watching it because my husband's excited to watch it. So I'll kind of watch it with a open mind. I didn't love the first one way back in the day. I probably need a refresher on Beverly Hills Cop 1.
See, I liked the first two. I was a big fan of it. You know, Eddie Murphy, he had swagger. And it was cool, and it all kind of worked out. And like I said, I felt like it was kind of a retread of an old plot, and the only reason to do it was they played a lot of the same music. Well, they played the exact same action music. It was the same movie.
Gotcha.
Except Taggart and Rosewood are really old now, and they look terrible. So that's it. But the other thing that I couldn't help get past either, I don't think I'm ruining the movie by telling you this. The story is, his estranged daughter, she lives in Hollywood. And so he never sees her, but yet every time he goes back to Hollywood, and apparently he doesn't go back ever because he hasn't seen his daughter in years upon years, it's like everybody in Hollywood he's so good friends with. Like everybody knows him, and they're all like, they call each other uncle and brother and all that stuff. Like, how do you have a relationship that's tight and you've seen each other 3 times in your life? I don't know. There's just a few things there, but a lot of other people I seem to like it a little bit more than I did. So, the one thing I did like, Only Murders in the Building, I thought that was pretty good. The Steve Martin and Martin Short, and then Selena Gomez, that was decent. I only saw the first season on it, so far, thought that was pretty good. And then the Marilyn Monroe documentary, Thank You, Virginia. Thought that was good.
I loved that one. That was very interesting to hear the tapes of the interviews with people that actually witnessed things surrounding her death. They were there. They saw things, and now they're talking about it.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. Yeah, I thought it was a solid watch. Also mentioned I watched a lot of Alien, what is that show called? Ancient Aliens, sorry. I was looking for the email because Fancy said, the Ancient Aliens is on the History Channel, and I record it, so I had all it's fascinating stuff about, the argument of the show is that a lot of, like the pyramids from all these other things, the coincidences are just too big, and they believe that, it's been aliens that have given us all of our technology and all that kind of stuff. They did have a fascinating show on DNA, and they said, why did all of a sudden it change? And they noticed a little glitch in our DNA thread that went back and it looked like it had been altered.
Really?
Yeah, that was one I thought was kind of interesting.
I definitely feel altered.
Yes. But he said, why are monkeys today still not evolving? And they said it's because something happened that tweaked our DNA, changed it somewhere along the line. Fancy said that they're having a lecture at the Broward Center of the Performing Arts on Saturday, October 19th. So if you are a fan of that show, I know a lot of people think that the stuff on there is bunk and whatever, but if that's your thing, just to let you know. I also always appreciate the suggestions for other shows to watch. People would send in some emails on stuff to check out. And Jennifer said, looking for a good show, I just watched 2 seasons of The Chosen so far, and I love it. I think you will too. First season's on Netflix, and seasons 1 through 3 are on Peacock. Why do they do that stuff? That's so annoying to me.
They're trying to get you to subscribe to all the different platforms because they're all in cahoots, and they want to get your money. That's all it is.
But it's just so confusing. They finally got all the seasons of Suits now on Netflix. They just started that last week. But before then, you had to go watch the final season on Amazon. Like, wait, where do I go see this again?
It's tricky, but they do it on purpose so that you have to subscribe to everything. They want your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another email here said, I watched the I Am Celine. Very sad reality about her life. And that's the thing. I don't want to see. I love Celine Dion. I think she's an amazing person. I respect her talent, but I don't want to see her suffering through that. Man, that clip of her going through that stiff person syndrome, that was tough to watch.
It was really tough to watch and heartbreaking and just, I don't know if I'm ready either.
Yeah.
It was so hard to watch that one little clip. And they say that's the worst of it. That in the whole special, that is the worst clip, the one that we saw.
Yeah.
But still.
You know what? I would rather... I think she's, coming through it a bit, trying to work through it. But, yeah, I want to make sure it's a really great outcome. Be nice to see her back on top of her game.
Oh, my gosh.
When they do that, then maybe I'll watch it. I'm still pulling for her. It's still too real. It's too raw, Virginia.
I agree.
And also, they said Monkey Man was surprisingly good. Also, Apple TV. Presumed Innocent. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I think that's Jake Gyllenhaal, maybe. Presumed Innocent. My wife's mentioned that. But then I saw that, man, his reviews for, what was that movie Jbird liked? Roadhouse. The ratings on that are not good. The Jake Gyllenhaal version?
The Jake Gyllenhaal version, I think people did not like compared to the old original one. They just didn't look at it the same.
Yeah, because I almost watched, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll watch that Roadhouse. And does that dissuade you when you see a show has low markings? Or some people will be like, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway.
It depends. I mean, I didn't watch Roadhouse the original. I'm probably not going to watch Roadhouse the remake. I know it's one of Jbird's favorites, but it's not really my type of movie.
Yeah. Well, it is a 59% on the tomato meter and 53% audience score. That's the Jake Gyllenhaal one. And I was like, I mean, that's not great on either category. But if you love the original, that was a 44%.
Oh, wow.
So apparently it's better than the original.
Maybe for the star power? I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal is a big name.
But the audience score is 67%. So the critics hated the original Roadhouse, but apparently had appreciation for the audience.
Jbird loves the original.
He does. He goes off on that. He's got some good stuff coming up. That Cobra Kai new season's coming out this month.
Is that still on YouTube, or do they move that one too?
No, that's on Netflix now. Yeah, exactly. As soon as you get used to something, they change it.
As soon as you pay for something, then they change it.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay for the other thing. And remember to cancel your other subscription. It's a shell game.
Panchita said, I recommend the Netflix series Sprint. It's about the fastest male and female runners around the world competing for their spot in the Paris Olympics. It's their story. I never knew there would be so much smack talk in this sport. I believe you'd like it.
Huh.
Coaches gave some really great advice. And said, feel better if you need albuterol. I can bring it to you. What is that?
Albuterol? Is that a, for your lungs? Like a, I think asthmatics. I think my husband uses albuterol.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
It's for them lungs. Open up your airways, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so far, like, I'm good, but you know what? I can feel it really starting to close in on me. Like, I need my nasal spray. And
yeah, albuterol is an inhaler.
Oh, okay.
But it's good for opening up your breathing passages.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's good. It's just, you know what? To me, it's always a battle with the mucus. It's trying to stay ahead of it. And, yeah, it's creeping in. You can tell it's wearing off. And you know what? I'm not feeling loopy. So and that's kind of that's the weird thing about it. You know, you don't want to feel loopy, but then
right.
The second you don't, then it starts creeping in. I better start reading faster.
He's fading fast, y'all.
Well, it's just I feel like it's coming on, and it's like I told you, it's like I'm inside of a protected house. You ever seen that? And it's like the Bronch is just pacing back and forth outside. It's like going, okay, I know.
Your time with Kev is very limited.
It's in fact, I think it was the Star Wars Episode 1. There was a force field kind of thing, and these Jedi Knights, they were waiting, and they had the really evil Jedi that was trying to get through, and so he sat down there. He knew he had to wait because it was a time-based thing. That's how I feel like the Bronx is just waiting, and then they'd go down, they'd have to fight, and then the guard thing would come up again. It knows it.
The Bronx definitely has its lightsaber.
It's got its lightsaber, and it's coming to poke it through my lungs. Yeah. Michael said, pop that pill, Kev. You're not driving home. Yeah.
Pop that pill.
It is coming on, man. Whew. Wow. Somebody else has said, yeah, the pickle pinwheel you're talking about, that's been on apps for years. Pastrami and cream cheese is what I would fill it with.
Yeah, the pinwheel is different from this because this is kind of like, imagine a whole entire dill pickle sliced in half and then hollowed out on the inside. That's what this is. Different from a pinwheel. This is a whole dill pickle that you would use in replacement of a bun, and you stuff it with the sauce and the meat and the cheese, and then you eat it like you would like a regular sandwich with bread, but it's just pickle instead of bread.
Yeah, it's cute. It's not,
cute.
It's not life-changing, but it might be something if you're putting out 5 things at a party. Say, yeah, when we add that in, that'd be kind of a nice little, something different.
Yeah, so I got it off TikTok. You guys like it? Try this.
Well, I'd never seen it. I've never been to a party and I saw.
No, I've never seen it either.
Yeah. Grant said dill boat is what they call it. It's great. And you know what? If anything else, it's an underrated food so much that a lot of people never heard of it.
And the news story that they did on it that you sent to me was like, people are lining up for this thing.
Right.
They're coming from state to state to get it. And I was like, all right, we got to try this.
Yeah, it's like 2 brothers that have a place. And the guy's like, yeah, I was supposed to be off today, but I'm having so much fun. I came into work.
That's got to be cool when you have like this item that you're selling and everybody wants it. There's a line out the door. It's just a regular normal sandwich shop on any other day, but now it's like getting all this press and people are all TikToking about it.
Well, I got to tell you, the one thing about it, honestly, if you ever talk to somebody about, give them advice, there is such a power in momentum. And if you don't recognize it, if you have momentum, do not stop. There will be a time where it will stop for you.
Right.
Never pause when you have momentum. And that's why we were talking about the Haktua girl. I know a lot of people hated me. Like, yeah, I get it, but you know what? She's got momentum. Don't stop. Just ride it out. See what happens. That's today's. It's so hard to get noticed on anything today that if people pay attention to you for a second, run with it.
Grab those opportunities.
Because you never know what you can make out of it. And then you know what? Then you start to get noticed and then you prove whether you belong or not. But most people should have belonged, but they never got noticed.
Right.
At all. So if you actually crack through for even a split second, be like, okay, it's the M&M, right?
Yep. You only got one shot.
You only got one shot. So
Come
try to
out
make
there.
it happen.
Get it, Haktua.
That's right. I'm kind of rooting for her.
I
really
am too.
She seems like one of them,
Genuinely funny.
Right.
Wasn't trying too hard to be funny. Just genuinely was like a little innocent, funny girl out in the wild that has some perspective to share.
Right.
And is not shy.
If you were targeting a country, she'd be great on radio.
Yeah.
Would you not grab her up and be like, hey,
Scoop her.
I know you got some stuff coming right now, but she sounds like she'd be probably great if you had a young radio show or bringing somebody on.
Totally.
And that would work for your audience because, she has a very thick accent. Thicker than yours, actually.
It's cute, though.
It is cute, yeah. So you'd have to get to know her. But, yeah, she seems like she's kind of an endearing, likable girl. I got an email that Dad wanted to keep his 8-year-old daughter at home this summer, stop paying for the camps and the babysitter so he can get a motorcycle. And somebody said, I have a motorcycle. It's a second vehicle. I'm also a mother of a 12-year-old with special needs. And look, this is not something you do. You can't leave her at home, but motorcycles are cheap. If you can't set aside $100 or $200 a month for a motorcycle, you need to wait. I pay $572 a year for insurance, about $100 a month for gas, driving 40 miles a day to and from work. I think it was to buy the motorcycle. I think he had part of it, and I think he had some kind of financial plan he showed his wife.
Yeah, she wasn't impressed, though. And I don't think anybody here was impressed because you're talking about an 8-year-old and you're talking about all day long.
Yeah.
I can't sign off on that.
It's amazing, though. He's going to risk his daughter's health so he could get himself a motorcycle.
In an emergency situation, okay, you had to. But every single day, and that's just the norm, and the only good reason is because you want to feel the wind whipping through your hair on a hog.
Yeah. She said my motorcycle was $5,700 out the door. Yeah, I imagine his might be a little bit more. Can't some Harleys cost about as much as a car?
Yes.
Okay.
It depends on how fancy you go.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, and I'm sure he's not.
He needs to learn how to scale back a little bit and make discretionary decisions based on your wife's opinion too. It's not just you by yourself. You have a wife who has a difference of opinion, so you got to take into account what she thinks. Mm-hmm. If you're a team.
I love this motorcycle enthusiast and mother of two signs her email Annihilator. Is that what her kids call her, I wonder?
They don't cross her.
No, I wouldn't.
If your mom is on a hog and she calls herself the Annihilator, you don't say nothing to that woman.
Nah, not at all.
Suck it up.
I got a question here about construction. So this is a part call them out and a general question. Palm Beach County, are they not allowed to do construction at night anymore? My husband and I work in Loxahatchee, live off Village Boulevard. So the normal drive is about 20, 30 minutes, but with construction, it's been anywhere from an hour.
Oh, the Bronch. It's got that lightsaber out. It's
I have
fired
a lot of
up.
time left, yeah. Get through my last few.
I would say you probably have about 5 minutes left in you.
Maybe. I might be generous.
Eat that pill.
It's not going to be an immediate. I will take a cough drop, though.
Poor Kevin. You're here. You're fighting the good fight.
Doing what I can.
Oh, bless your heart.
Ooh. All right. And I might be doing better than Bird.
Yeah, you're here. He couldn't even make it here. He's still at MD now.
Yeah. Crazy. And look at you. You raged all weekend long, and you're just doing great.
I have the heart of a champion alcoholic.
Did you do day drinking, or is it just nighttime stuff?
Both.
Oh, wow.
I like to dabble in both worlds.
I honestly don't know how you do it, because all I do on weekends now is just sleep. That's honestly all I do. I go home and I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I can do another 5 days. And I fall asleep for 2 straight days, and I get up and do 5 more, and that's it.
I'm built for this, though. I'm from New Orleans, Kevin. We're just different. I grew up training.
I guess so. Yeah, wow. I have no idea how you do it. All right, yeah, I don't think I can continue on. I think it's my voice is going away quickly.
Well, go home, take a hot tub, put yourself in bed, relax, drink lots of fluids.
I have to get ready for tomorrow's show, Virginia.
Just lay in bed and do computer work.
Yes, I will.
Try to exert zero energy.
I will. I'll be in bed with my laptop getting ready for Tuesday's show. And, hopefully on social media we'll let you know about Bird and how he's doing. Hopefully he can get back soon, and it's not something that's more than just the flu or something along those lines. All right.
Pray for us.
Yes. Good Lord. You thought we'd come back in good shape. No, we came back barely holding on, near death. All right. God bless y'all. See you later.